Hello everybody, I'm back at it. As you can see, trying to get my girls' boat ready for the water. You know, every time we went out, we would sit for 30 minutes. I'd have to pump water out. I looked all over trying to figure out where the holes were at in this boat. But here, let me show you this monstrosity I had to build. I had to build this A-frame so I could get the boat up off of the trailer, which is going to be my next project after fixing the boat. You know, I gotta get this thing cleaned up, but built this A-frame, got our hoist up here. I had it at the back. We raised the back up, blocked it up, put some jack stands underneath of it. They're actually right there on the rib, so she should be pretty stable. And no, that jack is not what's holding it up. It's actually hooked here in the front. I've got a chain and a bolt attached to the front, hooked to our lift here. The jack is just there to keep it a little stable. It keeps it from moving back and forth while I'm underneath it there. Just had to go to Harbor Freight and buy me a creeper. I have this is pretty much Scotch-Brite solution. Hang on. Went to the marine shop, and this is hull cleaner. Supposedly spray it on, let it sit for a few minutes, hose it off. No, didn't work. Had to get me some gloves because this has muriatic acid in it. Best thing I found were these pads. And you can scrub by hand or whatever, but it's a pain in the neck. So I had this attachment on my little multi-tool. I just cut the pad, attach it on there, and you can see here's dirty spot, and you can see where I've cleaned already around the bottom or around the top here. And I started over here. It's been raining, so I actually need water. You got to have the water hose. You got to spray it, get it wet, scrub it. It's a task. The problem that we're having is I have found holes. Let's see if I can find one. There are holes in the boat. There's holes all over the place underneath. There's some large holes underneath, not really large, probably about a third the size of a dime. But you can see here, there's a split in a hole, another hole. I need to pull some of these screws out that are here for no reason. There used to be a depth finder, I believe, on here. Need to get rid of that. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I need to get this thing done by next week for my wife so we can get her out fishing. I started when we first got the boat. I replaced the plywood in the bottom. There's some pieces that I didn't replace that I'm pulling off. I need to get another sheet of 3/4 plywood. I need to replace the front up here in the nose. This is our live well. I need to replace this door on here. The one mistake I made that I kicked myself in the butt about is when I had this plywood up, I didn't replace the hoses from the back. You have an inlet and outlet for the live well. They're possibly leaking underneath, but what I do is when we go out, we don't really use it. So I just plug off. I put a plug in here and plug off this hole for the inlet water intake. This one over here is connected to a pump. That's actually the inlet. This one's the outlet. I got it backwards. But this one, as long as you're not pumping, it won't take in any water. And this is your outlet. So I plugged that off, but you see all the holes I have found everywhere. I'll show you guys the ones underneath when I get under there. But let me get set up here and get started. It's a slow process, but you can see the difference from what I've done and what hasn't been done. Most all my holes in the boat are back that way, but I got to clean it up to double check. And I have some 2-part epoxy to fill them with. There he is. You see where the water's dripping? There's a hole right there. A couple of them. See, I thought this rib here, where it rides on the pulleys, I thought this was what was leaking. But actually, it's coming out of those holes, running down to the rib, and then going down. And there's more down at the other end. So I got a lot of cleaning to do. I'll get back with you guys later on once I get this cleaned up. Alrighty, there's one side done. I mean, it's not perfect, but my goal was to clean out underneath of here so I could find any holes. Like we can have, see if I can get you over here. Here. I just wanted to look up and down the hall. With all the dirt and debris on here, there was no way to find anything. Not looking too bad. There's one here. There's a couple right here. One there. We got a few here and there. But I got this side cleaned. Now I got to clean the other side over here and get it all cleaned up. Hope my wife appreciates all this. Rolling around under here, stuff falling in my face. Had to stop using the cleaner. I didn't want to eat that stuff and have it in my face. It's coming clean. It takes a bit of work. Whole lot of elbow grease and scrubbing. But she's shining up. I'll show you the epoxy that I have. Went to the marine shop and picked up this Marine RX Epoxy repair. Supposed to work like putty. Supposed to be able to fill it in the holes, take a knife, rub it back and forth, let it dry, then you sand it down. This is the slower drying stuff. This is not the professional. The professional stuff dries in 5 minutes. I've never done this before. I replaced transom on a boat one time, but that was all wood and stuff like that. So this is a new thing for me. It should be pretty straightforward. Anyway, we'll get the other side cleaned up and we'll get this mixed up and fill the holes. And I'll let you guys know how that goes, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video for now. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody for watching. If you give a thumbs up, leave a comment if you know anything about boats. I'm new at this. You know, I do construction, I build things. But man, it's cheaper than paying somebody $150 an hour to do this. So thanks guys, I appreciate it. I'll do a part 2 on this probably in a couple of days. Oh, almost forgot. Anybody out there knows of a good paint that I could do? I'd like to paint from here down, paint the entire bottom hull after I get all the holes patched up and everything. I know that they sell some epoxy paint and stuff at Lowe's, but I don't want to cheap out on this. I want to get her done and not have to do it again. So if you know of anything that would work well, that doesn't cost a lot of money, shoot me a comment down below or send me a link or something like that. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks guys.